Hi, hello again. So we're going to continue on our series of how to get a job. So my first video was like step one. It didn't tell you precisely how to get the job, but it told you a little bit how to keep that job. So here in step two, we continue with this series, and then we're going to continue over the story of Jose here and how he got his job in Turkey. So what do you do to get a job? He got it through friends. A friend can tell you about a job opportunity. You can Google it. Actually, the fact of finding a scholarship through internship, a scholarship and studying is like a job also, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
you use a lot of resources. You use internet. Nowadays, if you Google, there are so many websites for jobs, and there are so many websites like LinkedIn to find job opportunities, intern opportunities. So, at your first interview to get this job, what did you do? How was this step into getting the job?
Well, it was like kind of an interview, but it was on the phone because the person just called me. Like they needed me. It was not like I would say not a real job. It's more like just at first they just needed help because it was urgent. So after that, like I'm gonna talk about like that kind of interview. Like the guy called me and we were trying to speak. Like as I told you, my Turkish was not that well at that time, but still I understood what he wanted to say, and he asked me like, how long have I been here in Turkey and what are my plans when I'm free, like this time, the time when I can work. And so I explained him everything, and then he told me to go to the company one day, like in the afternoon, a time that he was free, because it was apart from his regular job, like he has his tasks, and so this was like kind of apart from all that, because they wanted to this customers, they wanted to talk to them, and so that was it. They called me, and then I went to the company, and I talked a little bit before starting doing things. We talked a little bit, like my name, introduced myself. I went to talk with the boss, and
So I guess when you went there, you were looking better than now.
of course
Yeah. If you want to get a job, you have to be looking good. I don't want to be like superficial. Looking good is not to be a model or whatever. What I mean by looking good is like feeling comfortable in your skin, looking appropriate. I understand that in many countries, in many cultures, and according to the company culture, some people can be more relaxed with what they wear. They can be more casual, like completely informal. But as we're talking about Turkey, and this is Turkey, it's important that you have to take into account to look nice. I mean, in Turkish business places, to be well dressed. I mean, your hair, the way you're dressed, your clothes. They don't have to be like whatever super mega expensive brand, but like clean, to look tidy, to look nice as a person, to have a little bit of makeup if you're a girl. Of course, it's not a requirement. But if you can highlight the nice side of your face, I think that's nothing bad. It's also something like a personal signature. If you feel good with how you look, of course you are going to project that security. You are going to project that self-confidence, and people will trust you. People will trust that you know what you're doing and that you can handle that job. So, what were you wearing when you went to the interview? I wonder.
Well, I wasn't too formal, but I wasn't casual. I was just wearing a shirt and pants and social shoes, like this.
Yeah, yeah, I see. Well, that's good. That's good.
I normally don't wear that, but since it was this kind of interview and I was going to my first day of work, not
Yeah.
work, but a simple job, but still I felt like
I mean, yeah.
I felt like I needed to wear that.
Again, a job's like a relationship, man. Like the first day you're looking awesome, right? Like the first date, you look like Brad Pitt and she looks like Angelina Jolie. When you catch them, when you got them in the hook,
And
then you can go a
relax.
little bit messy sometimes. Even myself, sometimes I look crappy for work, especially if it's a Monday. We hate Mondays, and everybody hates Mondays. It's a Monday trauma. If you've got a really hard party, rocking holiday, a really crazy weekend, most probably you will be very, very messed up on a Monday, and you will not have much energy to be like super beautiful or super handsome. But the interview, the first impression is very important when you're trying to get a job. So make sure that that first impression is worthy to show who you really are. You know, I've read that they say the first 10 or 15 seconds when a person sees you and like the reaction that they have towards you, the first 3 minutes when that person is speaking to you, the way you show yourself, make like the rest of the interview or the rest of the day. You know, it influences the image of a person that a person can have you. So the first 3 to 5 minutes are really important, and they can make it up for the next 1 hour that you can be talking to that person.
I think it's sometimes it's normal to be a bit nervous because like even people that are hiring, they know that you are supposed to be
exactly.
nervous, but the way you handle it and the way you overcome, that's the part that
Exactly.
we have to take care.
Exactly. I think you're right. That's a very important point, because if you're nervous at the beginning, it's normal. Everybody will understand that. But if the entire interview you're nervous, give me a break. Another thing, for example, if you're applying to a job, be real. I mean, sometimes, of course, everybody puts up a little bit of makeup in their CV. We're highlighting some things, you know, to impress.
Yeah.
But be sure that you can be up to that standard, you know, like develop yourself. If you don't know a subject but you want to pretend you know it, then Google it, study it. I mean, many of the things that I have learned, I've learned them through internet, through studying, watching videos, reading books, or like reading blogs or LinkedIn or newspapers. So if I know I have an interview, I don't know, with a food company that's producing whatever, I don't know, bread or cheese, let's say. So what should you do? You should Google anything that is related to that company itself, and then where that company is interested in doing business, and about the sector that you're interested. I mean, that's very important. You have to go prepared to the interview if you want to get the job. Companies, they want to know, they want to feel that you care for them, that you are not there just for the money, that you are there because you are like following a purpose. This is very important. They need to understand that you at least have got into their website, because that's a sign of respect. I also recommend you that. If you, next time that you apply to a job, and that you apply to a job that you really like, take the time to investigate about the company. It's like with a girl. Like if you like a girl, what do? Right? You observe her, right?
Yeah.
Like you see what she
Really?
likes.
Mm-hmm.
But you see like what she likes. I mean,
I know.
you don't attack her. Like first you observe. Like you see what she's doing, who she's talking with. Maybe she's friend with your friend, so he can introduce her to you.
Exactly. Sometimes we use that to have like conversation, like
Yeah.
to have subject of conversation.
Is she drinking wine or beer? Is she wearing too close or too open? Is she laughing too loud? So you can learn it. You can understand if she's too conservative, if she's shy, if she's relaxed. So you will plan your approach according to that or not.
Sure.
If you see the girl so shy in a corner like this, you're not gonna go like, hey, whatever, right? But if you see that she's like, oh, whatever, then you also go, hey, whatever, let's dance, and everybody's happy, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So it's the same with a company. You observe, and to observe a company is through research. So in terms of a company, observation comes to finding, investigating, maybe talking to people if you are lucky enough to know people who are in that specific sector of business that you want to apply, or who are working in a competitor company or in the same company if you're that lucky. Try to get as much data, because that will help you make the decision. Do I really want to work here?
Yeah.
I mean, for example, when you think about the company or the job of your dreams, what comes to your mind?
Well, I would say a company, especially like it has to be like a big company, first of all, and I think my job, like talking about me, like my dream job, it has to be a job where I can talk to people, you know, where I can understand people. I can sell products, you know, like whether is it to be like, I don't know, a manager of a big company or just like a lower position. I don't know, but still, my dream job it has to do with talking with people, you know, dealing with people. That's basically my dream job.
So you like networking? That's what we call that. Jose likes networking. I also like networking, discovering new people, discovering new places. It's not a pink world. It's very tough. It's very tough to manage different kinds of people, to understand different languages, and to understand even different accents. I mean, I'm a Latin person. I have a Latin accent. I think you have noticed. He has a Portuguese accent a little bit, but it's understandable. There, it's harder. It gets harder with some other people in business to understand them. But you have to know that understanding your client is understanding their needs more than the language that they use. So when you project yourself like Jose does, trying to be in a networking environment where basically you're touching people and you're like not physically but when you're touching people's needs, when you're trying to understand what they want and providing that for them, it's very important that you can keep an open mind and that you can be very, very sensitive, very, very like aware of what people need and listen. To listen to them is very important.
It is. Like all the time you're learning new things because different people, different culture, they have different subjects. For example, you may offend a person from a different culture, for example, just by saying one word. For example, in your culture that may be something normal, but for them it's not. So you have to be aware of all those things. So it's like it all the time is it's a research like kind of thing, you know, because you have to know them. You have to know the people you are dealing with, especially, okay, let's suppose you're traveling to a new country and you're going to speak with customers there. And so because of that, you have to know how they behave there. First of all, the culture, and then you have to see like the company, how the company works, the people there, you know, all of those things. It's really a research thing.
Yeah, and I can tell you this, you have to know languages. You want to get a job, you get a language. The first one is English because, you know, it's a universal language. But nowadays, English is not enough by itself. So I can give you the example of Jose. He's lucky because his native tongue is Portuguese, which is a Latin tongue, and it's very close to Spanish.
Yeah.
But what did he do? He lives in the dorm with Latin American people, and he has learned Spanish, very good Spanish, through practicing. So if you want to work like us in a networking environment where you're getting to know a lot of people from different countries, communication goes far beyond words or far beyond just talking English and being able to say the same things. Communication is to be able to understand people and their culture and their way of being, and language is a very important tool for that. So learn languages, learn international languages. Spanish is a great language.
Portuguese too.
So you should learn it. So we're finishing this chapter here right now, and I'll see you later. You kiss, bye.